I'm going to do a quick video of the garden. So we got some new tables in. The benches were there 10 years ago, so they're a little old. This little oak here was sort of the instigator for me taking over the garden. As you can see, it's been having some trouble, but we're working on it. So this little area, I've got a toyon, a bay laurel. That little tiny bay laurel got mowed down, but it's coming back. The laurel sumac, the oak. We got a little prostrate coyote bush, some buckwheat. There was a manzanita, but of course the kids pulled it out. So we've got another bay laurel in this area. This area got damaged when the forklift brought the tables in. Hopefully I'll get to fix this area during the summer. So I'm going to give you a walk around as much as I can. So back here I planted a little red bud, and it survived. I actually planted 3. 2 of them survived. So this oak's doing okay, and this one's okay as well. Got a lemonade berry back here. I got a brittle bush behind. Unfortunately, I had other things behind these, but they got pulled out, stepped on, damaged, that sort of stuff. Got a sagebrush here. It's kind of flattened. The kids like to move the rocks around, put them on plants, smash stuff. So we're going to work on that. It's another red bud. Got a hollyleaf cherry and a Catalina cherry, some more sagebrush, another prostrate coyote bush, some purple sage. Over here is the manzanita, that's the big herd. We've got a little fuchsia, another hollyleaf cherry, and another. So I put prostrate coyote bush around because everybody wants green in the garden. So that's an easy way for me to just cover the ground with green until we can fill it in with other plants. So this center area unfortunately gets a lot of damage from the kids as well. So I've got a lemonade bush, a chamise, bay laurel, the toyon is doing really well, fortunately. The little fuchsia over here has gotten demolished by the kids, but we've got a coffee berry, which actually had some berries on it this year, and you can see the caterpillars love it. So, there's a little white one there. So that coffee bush is definitely feeding the caterpillars, which is wonderful. So this coyote bush has been here forever. It's actually been chopped all the way to the ground and come back. So it is here to stay. This is a hollyleaf cherry. So these are lemonade bushes that I put in. This whole area in front, really, really bad soil. Whole pockets of sand and concrete from the previous construction here. But also the kids, it's right by the playground. So the balls come here, the kids run here. You can see these 2 lemonade berries, a lot of broken branches. So doesn't matter how much I put there to protect it, it gets broken. So I'm hoping we'll get some healing over the summer. Once they're big enough, then I won't have to worry quite so much. Another coyote bush. All right, so this center planter, this tree was doing really well, but it's got some issues. The powdery mildew unfortunately transferred to this tree, and it's been struggling. So I'm working on repairing the soil. I did get a little California poppy in there. We're going to try to get some more poppies in next year. Got a toyon, a laurel sumac. You can see this one's not doing as well as some of the other areas because this soil is really not great. Got another coyote bush, and I'm going to kind of go really fast to go around to this side. Here's this toyon. It struggled for a while, but you can see it's shooting up right now. It's finally doing better. We got some buckwheat, sagebrush, and another coffee berry. Okay, then this area, we got a nice this is a Catalina cherry, so it's doing really well. This toyon also was struggling. It was one of the first ones I brought in, but it's doing really well now, fortunately. Another laurel sumac, and I'm going to bring you to the right. This California ash, it's not doing as well as the other ash, but I think it's still surviving, so I think we'll do good. This chamise is probably one of the better chamises in the garden. Got another coyote bush, and there's our second big herd manzanita. We've got a prostrate ceanothus over there, the only one that survived. We got some brittle bush, some other ensalias over there. This hollyleaf cherry didn't survive. We've got the golden bush here. There's a little bit of the milkweed. The kids, I just had to remove stuff from on top of it, but hopefully it'll come back next year. A little care. Got another toyon, another chamise. This area is basically a constant battle against the bamboo, but this little oak, if you had seen it a few years ago, it was so tiny. It's doing really well now. I do have a ceanothus back there, and you can see the sage. It's basically been spreading out as well. I am fighting with the bamboo and some other volunteers and constant bamboo poking up, and this is also where the black locust with the thorns keeps poking up. I'm trying to fight those. This laurel sumac has been here for a while. It's very happy here. I pruned it back and we'll prune it back eventually, but right now it's good for the bugs and the lizards and the birds and stuff. And these are the 2 walnuts that I just got in, and I'm hoping to get some more. I would love to have a few more walnuts since it's so important for the California wildlife being endangered and all. So this coffee berry has been here for a while, and it's survived fairly well as well, though it doesn't tend to get a lot of berries. So it does seem to have some this year, so that's good. Excellent. All right, we've got back in this corner a laurel sumac. This is the large Fremontodendron that has survived. This is the fuchsia that loves to grow under the bush, and it's one of the remnants from the original garden. And that little toyon has been struggling a little bit. Okay, then back around here we've got another hollyleaf cherry, and that's my big ceanothus that was planted a few years ago, and it's doing fairly well. We've got a toyon back there, a little chamise that keeps getting stepped on. Hummingbird sage under this tree comes and goes depending on how much abuse it gets, but it's still alive. Another toyon. So this center area is also another planter. And so what I've got here is, this is the big coyote bush that was like over 10 feet tall and cut all the way to the ground. It's come back. So we're going to try and keep this low. They can get out of hand, but it provides a little shade for this bay laurel, which has been struggling a little bit. We got a laurel sumac, and we've got 2 elderberries. So I've got these 2, and then I wanted to plant some flowers in here because just to sort of give the kids some interest. So obviously you can see the brittle bush is doing really well. This is another of the ashes. Some of these have these 2 little planting areas. I planted monkey flowers, penstemon, fuchsia. What else did I plant here? Silver lace. Just to give them some, it was nice for them to have some flowers this year because a lot of the plants here have been really small. It's new. Hoping to get some more wildflowers in this whole area next year. Have some poppy seeds at the very least. We'll do that. Give them some color. Everybody loves poppies. And you can see these oak trees are doing pretty well over here. So this area back here, we're going to go. So we've got some bladder pods here, which are always fun for the kids. I have some in my garden, so I was able to just pass them out to the kids, and these were planted by the 3rd graders, and hopefully they'll do better next year. This area gets a lot of abuse too. You can see the coyote bush is very trampled on. This little manzanita is barely hanging on, and that sagebrush is having some trouble. So hopefully we can keep the kids out of here, and this summer hopefully repair itself a little bit. So I'm going to walk back here. We have this oak tree is suffering a little bit, and then that oak tree over there is suffering a little bit, which we'll walk by. So we got another hollyleaf cherry and a bunch of weeds back there that hopefully can tackle this summer. This is a buckwheat that got planted. So I have 2 different varieties of buckwheat, and then that Fremontodendron had a tough time this past week. I don't think it's going to make it, but we'll see. They can be a little touchy. So we've got some plants over here. We've got the fuchsia, we've got some sage, we've got another little manzanita, prostrate manzanita. This sage is doing really well over here. Another sagebrush, coyote bush, Catalina cherry, and this is another one of the oaks that we're having trouble with. So I think I've done the whole garden. Basically, I brought in all these stumps this year, and I've been trying to get them around the garden as borders, give the kids a clear delineation of where they can and can't walk. It's not working 100%, but we're starting, and the kids still like to dig up the stones and throw them around and break them. And so I put a little box here. I was thinking of maybe having I have some old acrylic, so maybe have a worm box, something like that here. We've got 4 tables which were brought in this year, which will be perfect for having classes in the garden. And then obviously we have the benches. So you can kind of see it's a pretty decent sized place, and we have lots of room for more plantings. I had to kind of trial and error as far as what'll survive where, especially since I can only see it certain times of the day and year. So we do get a little wind coming off the playground into the garden, and we have shade on this side of the garden, not so much on the other, that sort of thing. So we're a little bit of trial and error with what plants go where, what soil goes where. But I think I will send a picture of what it looked like before, and it is pretty drastic, and I'm hoping next year we can make as much of a difference again. I'm going to work on the hardscaping, see if we can get these stones and bricks where the kids can't dig them up, get some clear borders. I'd love to get some signs, and have it nice and safe and ready for the kids when they come back in the fall. Okay, thanks.